I need to. Ah, here it is. Here it is. The development of mediumship is in accordance to what you already possess. Do you know what that means? Well, I'll give you, for instance, in one of our mediumship classes, one of our students didn't receive images. You know, when I close my eyes and I'm gazing into the realm of potentiality, a lot of times I'm impressed with images. But this particular person didn't receive any images, but they got lots of colors. I said, cool, focus on the colors. That's what this particular person had. Some people are good with emotions. They can sense emotions. You work with that. And the nice thing is that wherever you make a small improvement in your life or in yourself, it has a habit of spreading out. So you take that seed and you nurture it, and eventually that seed grows, and as that seed grows, so do you. You know, that's the interesting thing when you're doing message work, is they work with you in different ways. They present information in different ways. I remember reading about Emma Hardage. She was doing a message for somebody, and the person's name was Peas. And she's trying to identify this spirit coming through, and they give her these images of peas. And so after she does the reading and everything, she's asking her guides, how come you didn't give me the name? And he said, well, we don't work as evidentiary spirits with your evidentiary mediumship. And it took us a while to figure it out. So it's not only you that's working with them, they're working with you. That's why a medium should read quite a bit here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let's go to this one here. You've heard people talk about the Fox sisters, right? I'm sure I've mentioned them. Now, how many in the Fox family were actual mediums? This will really get you to thinking, because there was great-grandma, grandma, mom, the three sisters, Katie, Margaret, Leah, and Katie's, I believe it was Katie's son. At, I don't know, less than a year old, a baby, less than a year old, doing automatic writing. Now that's just mind-blowing. And I may have the wrong system, but the child's name was Ferdinand. And it was just interesting. And the idea is here, and our last speaker from last week mentioned this, how children make excellent mediums because, you know, they don't have all that clutter. And to think that a child that young could just scribble. And that's what it was, scribbling, very light scribbling, because, you know, kids don't know how to write, how to hold a pencil yet. But I found it was interesting. And that comes from Leah Underhill's Missing Link in Modern Spiritualism. And let's see if we can share a little something else here. Oh, I forgot to mention the Fox's brother. It was a large family. Like I said, they had large families then. And I just looked down here and there's this head in here, Brother David. And the sister's Brother David and his wife also possessed some ability to communicate with souls. So that mediumship, it just, you know, that natural principle of attraction. Well, that natural principle of attraction is not about attracting objects or people to you. It's about attracting events. And yeah, it's just like it goes on and on. So let me get out of this and let me see if we've got something else here. Ah, here's one, Spirit World. I always like that one. And first thing I see here, and this here, this is also a recording of different seances from mostly one particular soul that was a child that grew up with them. Now, the child was a soul in the soul realm, and they attended these seances and they grew as well as being in these seances. Now, I think that just sounds bizarre. Think of it like this. Okay. She was raised on the soul realm, and she attended the seances of this particular person as a means of learning. Because we still have to learn. Knowledge, experience, not knowledge, experience is premium in the soul realm. That's why we're here, to get all of these experiences and such, because they help us to grow. And sometimes when a soul immerses themselves in a body, well, that body isn't in the best of shape, and it doesn't survive long. So they still have to get those experiences one way or another. And one of those ways was sitting in the seances that people would have. But anyway, in this particular seance, it was shared that, here it is written, that the newly departed retain their suffering until they become acclimated to their new environment, which is the same as Andrew Jackson Davis wrote. And I guess I was also told this and shown this as well. So once we make passage, I think is the term they've been using when they do these seances and everything. When you make your passage and you get off the train, so to speak, as the last person liked to say, the world there is seen to be the same as it is here. And we have to become aware of the difference. And until we become aware of that difference, what we had here, we're going to carry there. And remember, what we carry with us is going to be related to experiences. So if you are experiencing a lot of chronic pain here, when you get off the train in the soul realm, you're still going to have that chronic pain until you realize that it's just here, and then you let go of it. And incidentally, one of the things that they teach here, as far as a treatment for chronic pain, is mindfulness. And mindfulness is about accepting. And when people learn to accept their pain instead of resisting it, the pain will do one of two things. Well, maybe three things. It will slowly diminish. It will disappear, or you'll just forget all about it. For me, it slowly diminished, and then it disappeared, and now I don't even think about it. Because there was a time when I would go out and just having a conversation was excruciatingly painful. It sounds strange, but it was, because it just caused my head to hurt. So anyway, moving right along. So, oh yeah, this was a big book here. Let me see what else we've got here. Here's a little something. Schools, and then I'm talking about in the soul realm. Schools and educational training continue to be a theme, as written by Andrew Jackson Davis and Judge Edmonds. And both, well, Davis and Emanuel Swedenborg, I don't know if I've mentioned him to you, but he was a medium in his time, and we're going back to, I think, like 1600s. But anyway, he and Davis both taught, pushed, admonished that it's best to do most of your learning here, as much as you can here, before you transition to the other side, for whatever reason. Because they have schools over there as well for us to attend. This whole idea, you know, it's good to develop the habit of being a lifelong learner while you're here, because it carries on when you get over there. You just keep on learning. And remember, the natural principle of cycles means that, okay, once you get off the train here, eventually you're going to get back on the train and you're going to get off over here again. So learning it's a big thing. And that, let me see here. Oh yes, death does not level all. All must rise through the vibrations of consciousness. All are at varying degrees through aspirations, and it is our aspirations that move us from one level of existence to the next. So if you want to know how to rise through those dimensions, how to progress, you do it intentionally. And you feel inspired, Cecilia?
And not really inspired, but knowledge is coming through. As I listen to you, I'm remembering things that I've learned here from the other side.
Cool. Cool. And I'll tell you, as you begin to immerse yourself in this, not just spiritualism, but spirituality, as you begin to learn more and more about it, don't be surprised if you're carried off in your dreams and they begin teaching you stuff. Or particularly when you're stuck home with a high fever. Perfect opportunity. You can't go anywhere. All you're going to do is sleep. And they teach you during that time. Let me see if I can recall one of the instances when that happened to me. And, oh yeah, House. I'm a big fan of House. Anybody here familiar with the series House? Yeah, yeah. So I'm upstairs, laying in bed, sleeping. All I do is sleep when I don't feel well. All I do is sleep. Then I've got House. I've got his voice. So what's taking you so long? What do you mean, what's taking me so long? Well, you know what you need to do. Just focus. Just focus. That's all you have to do is focus. All right. So I'm focusing. Of course, you know, the nice thing is when I get sick, I usually have that fever just for a day, and then I'm better. Why? Because I'm focused. But they teach you at odd times. So, and let me see here. I've got